one thing, Arnab. 90% plus of the cases of rape are done by fathers, brothers, neighbors.
So why should they not be castrated?
Chachas, mamas.
So what does that have to do with the argument
of
Kavita, calm down. Kavita,
I'm saying the pressure on women will be doubled.
Do you talk about murder like that?
One at a time, please. Kavita, 1 minute.
Whether a person is related.
Can I request everyone not to speak at the same time?
Ma'am, whether the person is.
Kunal, 1 minute. Kunal, Meenakshi, everyone one at a time. Kavita, please, please. 1 second. To everyone, I'm requesting, especially Kavita. See, Kavita, I know you're very strong and passionate views on this whole subject, but so do everyone. And today, please realize this. One minute. I want to say this. This issue of making sure that this country where 873% rapes have increased over 40 years, this issue is not limited to a few activists alone. I'll be very direct. It's become a mass issue. Nobody holds a proprietary ownership over it. The women of India hold proprietary ownership over it. No NGOs and no activists have proprietary ownership over this issue. And the ones who have suffered have proprietary ownership on this issue, not activists alone. Let me say that directly.
Their point of view is equally important. If the women of this country feel that there is a certain kind of treatment which should be given to these people, I think their point of view should be taken. They should not take a high ground sitting somewhere that says these women don't know what they're asking for. I mean, we are there, the governance is there for them. If they are feeling, marginalized, they are feeling compromised, I think their voice is very important and those voices have to be included. They want firm action.
Yeah, I want to also mention here, we have seen several cases when those accused of a particular crime have repeated their crime. Sudha Ramalingam, I'm coming to you next, have repeated their crime within years due to a lenient punishment. I want to tell our viewers, in the July Rohini 2012 murders in Delhi, the main accused, 20-year-old Mahesh, along with his accomplices, murdered 2 elderly women. They had committed a murder 2 years ago, but they were let off because they were a minor. Many of our viewers are telling us the person who carried out the most demonic assault is the 17-year-old minor, is a juvenile. Now, if that juvenile gets away, we don't care about it, human rights. He carried out the most demonic assault on this 23-year-old girl. If he gets away here, and if he's out on the streets once again in the future, then how safe will the women of the city of Delhi feel?
Not safe, forget safe. What would you feel?
We need to
just because there are grey areas in law, somebody should not get scot-free. If he's able to do that act, that heinous crime, he has to be, punished for that. So then we have to find ways of doing it. And I think that's what also, I think why are we shying away from saying that there is a decisive action against such crime is required, and high time we introspect and look at our laws and the implementation of those laws. Why are we shying away from that? I think nobody is saying that this is a definite answer. I do not know, because the chemical castration I was reading is a very complicated thing to sort of implement. Now, nobody is saying this is the answer, but what people want, people of this country want, and that has to be respected, is that they want
in 1979, Justice V.R. Krishna suggested the idea of castration as punishment for rapists. He said an anti-aphrodisiac treatment or willing castration is a better recipe for this hypersexed human being than outright death. And I have numerous judgments which speak of this. Of course, this is upsetting the human. No, the problem is somewhere our human rights lobbies, are very uncomfortable today.
But the point is,
very uncomfortable with tough laws on anyone.
With human rights lobbies.
No, I know you're not. I'm saying generally human rights lobbies. Human rights lobbies need to look at the human rights of the victim as well, for a change. Indu Malhotra, where do you stand on this? Indu Malhotra, please.
Yeah, my thinking is that in so far as castration is concerned, I think most people are not aware of castration, because chemical castration is a reversible process and the implementation of it is extremely difficult. It is by injecting a drug, an anti-androgen drug, every 3 months. Where is the supervision? Who will follow up? How will the implementation take place?
No, but
I personally feel that chemical castration
what we as citizens are asking for, what we as citizens are asking for is stricter punishment.
Yeah, so
what we are asking for is stricter
Life
punishment.
imprisonment with
Stricter
rigorous
punishment for rapists,
without
stricter
parole
punishment
is a
for
much
eve
better
teasing.
solution.
We need those
Because
to be
even
implemented.
in so far as mandatory death sentence is concerned, that has been considered to be unconstitutional by the Supreme Court.
Well, what about, I would say, trampling upon the individual rights of life and liberty of a rapist? I'm proposing this, Sudha Ramalingam. You see,
Arnab,
all sex offenders,
three of the women panelists are against the suggestions you're making.
No, don't divide this into standard, stereotypical, predictable woman-men divides. Don't do this. No, Kavita, don't do this.
Think about it.
No, Kavita also understand. No, Kavita, understand.
Because there's a history of the women's movement behind it.
Kavita,
it's nothing to do with human rights.
Kavita, please understand.
It's to do with the history of the
Please understand.
You have succeeded in brainwashing a lot of people.
Kavita,
that doesn't make it right.
Kavita, please understand.
It's not me.
Kavita, don't get...
the entire women's movement with the largest number of women members in their organizations. Thousands and thousands of women have not asked for this. The reason is not. I cannot have the discourse that women have struggled for.
I'm sorry to say, sometimes what happens...
women recognized by the law. They have struggled for the expansion of the definition of rape. They have struggled for stricter punishment for sexual assault causing grievous hurt short of murder.
Yes.
They have asked for it, but they have never asked for these solutions simply because these are solutions that will make it more difficult for women to file a complaint. I have to say this here because you haven't called anyone except me from the women's groups that have been working on this ground.
Kavita, you must... Kavita, 1 second. Kavita, 1 second. I just want to say one thing to you, please. Please understand this, that everybody has a right to have a voice in this country, right? That's one. And please understand this, that everybody has a right to ask whether the laws are effective. If we show any slightest amount of intellectual intolerance to the opposite point of view and say, I am from the women's movement and I feel so, I represent women and all of you people don't and the others don't, then it might be a display of intellectual intolerance which may be inappropriate given the occasion. Yes, that's all I'm telling you here. So have an open debate on this. Have an open debate.
What happens is that we intellectualize a problem and the
Kunal
problem
Kohli
gets stuck in debates and solutions do not come out.
I take your point. Meenakshi Lekhi, before I come to you here, I want to get in Sudha Ramalingam. I'm opening this up after that. Let's first agree that everybody has a say.
First talk about how these things are being sensationalized and not sensitized. What we are talking of doing all this while is just to sensationalize one particular case with knee-jerk reactions.
What sensationalize which case? No, sensationalize which case? 1 minute. Sensationalize which case? Which case? Which case is being sensationalized? No, 1 minute, Kavita. She can speak for herself.
Please,
Sudha, which case is being sensationalized?
Goswami may also be slapped with a false case.
Which case is being sensationalized?
Understand, we should not be sensitized.
Which case is being sensationalized?
Kavita was right. She was making a real point. But you want to shut us up. You want to show that all human rights activists are wrong. No, we have been right, not only today, right from the beginning.
Miss Ramalingam.
From Prakash Sarayana days, we have been fighting against personality. We do not want to become barbaric nation. We would like to be a humane state.
Right.
We would like to be a democratic state, a state which will adhere to the UNO's principles, to which we have been signing as parties. So let us not sensationalize things. Please,
no, what is being sensationalized?
I
am surprised at your reaction.
We have been fighting against all odds for all these years. These are lobbyists.
Arnab, I don't understand.
One sec. Miss Ramalingam, have we agreed?
Where is this debate going?
One sec. Can we please have someone respond to you? And to Ms. Kavita Krishnan, let's have all points of view, you see. So one, please hear the other side, right? So and Prasoon Joshi has something to say. He's not an activist, but I think he as a citizen of India has a right to have an opinion. Yes, Prasoon Joshi.
I respect your
Media has a larger role to play, not to sensationalize. Really,
what is being sensationalized?
To sensitize people.
Yes. Okay. I completely understand your sentiment and respect that your human rights sentiment on this. But what you need to understand also, I am surprised that just listen to me for a while. I am surprised that while the whole nation has so much of outrage. At this juncture, we are hearing reporting of so many cases.
Yeah.
It has become, the current fear is not enough. The people have no fear when they deal with women. They find it very casual. Something really drastic needs to be done here. Same Delhi where people are protesting on the street, the same Delhi, the night you see a man misbehaving with a girl and molesting a girl. There is no fear. There has to be something concrete done here. I tell you, I'm aghast by the men of this country that people have not beaten, what we call eve teasing, which is a wrong term, which should not exist. The woman being dealt or harassed and somebody has not beaten him into pulp. And this atmosphere, I feel there is something very serious needs to be done. In law and order, in society, society's acceptance towards the treatment towards women. I think we need to take a serious call here. And yes, human rights comes later, but you have to deal with the human rights of women right now. You have to take their side right now and see that they get their justice.
I'm actually saying here very clearly that
but women's justice in the molestation case
and it
you
is
mentioned.
also, I'd just like to add to what Mr. Prasoon Joshi is saying over here. It is an absolute shame when a woman is teased in public. Can I say something, please?
Girl will go
Ma'am,
through.
I'd like to just make a point here.
How difficult it is for her to
Ma'am, I'd like to make a point here.
1 second.
I'd like to take Mr. Prasoon Joshi's point further.
Who will be penalized. It takes up so much difficulty to persuade a young girl to file a complaint.
Kavita Krishnan,
just say something.
Kavita Krishnan, I don't understand at all. And I don't think anybody can understand how tougher laws are a problem. I can understand, have quicker convictions, remove the social stigma.
Because it deters women from filing a complaint.
Really? So you are saying, you are actually saying, you are actually saying,
I'm saying that.
I don't understand this argument. 1 second. Kavita, please listen. You are actually saying that the victim will be worried.
Let me tell you.
Please listen, Kavita. Listen to me. Listen to me.
I am telling you
Listen to me. Allow a question to be asked.
The victim is under
Allow
pressure.
a question to be asked. Allow a question to be asked.
Go ahead.
Right?
Go ahead.
Yeah. You are actually saying today that a victim will be worried that the accused will be punished. Now, all I know is that in this particular case of the victim in Delhi, till her last moment, she kept asking whether the people have been caught and punished. I don't think this human rights argument works.
Can I answer you? I'm saying that when you talk to a little girl, a young girl, and try and persuade her to file a complaint of rape, we know how difficult it is. There has been a case in Delhi
so
recently.
how do tougher laws?
Do you know how difficult it was to persuade that girl to file a complaint? Because of the variety of social pressures on her.
Ma'am, I'd like to say something over here.
When the person facing the penalty is maybe from a family or community,
one at a time.
Please say something. Going to face a death penalty or castration.
1 second, Kunal, 1 minute. 1 minute.
Understand the pressures that women
not everyone
face.
together. Mr. Memon is responding first. Mr. Memon, go ahead.
Please. Arnab, see, I would first request everybody else to please keep quiet for a minute. If you want to hear what I want to say. Please don't forget that 50% of Indian citizens are women. Out of every 2 Indian citizens, 1 is a woman. How can we deprive them of their safety, their protection, their life, their liberty, their constitutional rights? Certainly not. Now the question is that the fear of law probably does not deter, as on today, the offenders from taking law in their hands and outraging the modesty of women or raping them. So something needs to be done. Apart from, of course, deterrent laws are necessary. Just like murder, in rapes also, facts may differ from case to case. Now this instant case certainly warrants nothing less than death. So therefore, if the law is modified, death sentence is made applicable to such cases. This is the first case, but here it is also murder, so there is no difficulty at all. Now let us understand that just as in murder cases, we categorize rarest of rare cases and other cases. In rape cases also, hereafter, once death penalty is provided by law, we will categorize rarest of rare rape cases and give them death sentences. One more thing, Arnab, which is very necessary today is this, that confidence of rape victim has to be brought up. The women must be satisfied, must be convinced that they would receive justice once they go to the police station or to the court.
Yeah,
now,
so
therefore, we need lady doctors, we need lady police officers, we need prompt reaction, we want respect to women, and that is how these are all factors which together contribute to bring down this graph.
You see, we